Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm using Paige Evans Adventurous collection by American Crafts, and this pattern paper here in front of me is paper 14. Mine's from the project pad, so it's single-sided, but you can also get it double-sided in this collection. So I'm just using a blade and a glass mat, and I'm cutting out roughly the letters from the center. I'm going to keep the edge there. I might use that to mat another layout using this collection. So rather than just cut into it, I've kept it as a border. So I've roughly cut up the letters there, and then off camera, I've fussy cut them properly. The pink paper is also from the project pad, but you could also use cardstock. And I want to make it a little bit smaller than what it already is. So I actually trim it down to 11 inches square. So that's taking an inch off two sides and use that as the base for the word. I want a little bit of space around them, but not as much space as it had on the original 12 by 12. So I'm just making sure I've got them in position and the word spelled properly. And I'm looking at a paper to bring in underneath. It's quite taken with this spotty one to start with, but then the flower one won out, and that is paper number 20. So I'm not going to stick those two together yet, but it is there ready to go down. So I decide that I actually want to draw around the outside of each letter with a black journaling pen, and this is a technique that I tend to use. I'm left-handed obviously, but I tend to have my hand resting on my glass mat, and I tend to put a little bit of talc down on the mat, particularly when the weather's been hot like it has been here recently. And I find it helps for my hand to glide, means that I can do longer strokes. And I did all those letters and finished them off camera. I've come in now with some craft foam, children's craft foam, and I'm just cutting pieces to go on the back of the letters. You could use foam pads, but I find that you use lots of foam pads and you end up with all the chibbly bits on the back. So I'm just going to cut some strips of foam to size ready so that I can lift these letters up off the pink background. Next job is to glue them all on the backs, and then I've glued the letters to the 11-inch pink paper. So in the chipboard was this lovely row of houses, and that was the inspiration for the whole layout. And I'm going to lay it there over the end, so pretty central. And I'm just trying to figure out where to put some foam pads on it so that I can have it resting nicely over the letter N. So the buildings themselves reminded me of lots of buildings you get in Europe, and in particular the ones you get in Amsterdam, and therefore that helped me with the choice when it came to choosing my photographs. I knew I wanted the photos to be square, but I wasn't sure where to put them, so I cut some white card up first so I could get the sizes right and the positioning right so that I didn't print more photographs than I absolutely needed. So I printed these at home. They're 1 3/4 inch square. They're all taken at a tulip place in just outside Amsterdam called Keukenhof that I went to a few years ago. So there's actually tulips in the flower ephemera, so I think that's absolutely perfect to go with the photographs. Obviously I'm trying not to change the shape of the letters too much. I still want it to read adventure, so I'm thinking about the placement of the flowers as I choose them. So I'd like to put something on everything, if that makes sense. The bike is from the chipboard pack as well, like the row of buildings. And I've just brought in some extra flowers to see if there's any other choices. I wanted to pop a bit more yellow in, but in the end I didn't. And I'm just seeing whether I've picked the right choices to go on the letters. I want there to be some contrasting colours, but there doesn't need to be there's so many colours already in the background and in the letters that I'm not too worried what colour flowers I use. Now I'm coming in now with the mini foam alpha, and I'm going to add the word Amsterdam onto some vellum. So I've just moved the layout out of the way while I just get the letters in order. Trying to use the house chipboard as inspiration, so going pink, 2 shades of blue, yellow, orange, etc. The word ends up being smaller than the actual chipboard, but I'm quite happy with the way that it looks. It was nice to get all the colours into such a long word. And there's so many choices, so you could literally pick. Most letters were in 4 or 5 different colours, so you could have I could have had it all in one colour, or if I'd wanted to, I could have picked the gold. But as there was no other gold on this layout, I decided that the coloured alphas would be better. I just trim it roughly with some scissors and lay it over the top of the chipboard where it's going to go. I'm now going to work round and using some foam pads, get some of the bits that I'm happy with into place. If you watched me before, it takes me a while to commit, but when I do, I go for it. So I really recommend you would check out the Adventurous range by Paige Evans by American Crafts at Hey Little Magpie. As I say, I got the project pad, which is something I'd not had before. They're single-sided papers plus some stickers and some alphas as well, so worth checking that out as well, particularly if you not too sure about a range, you fancy trying it without getting all of the collection. It's a really great start, and they seem to have got the most popular papers in the project pad. This is my 3rd video using this collection for Hey Little Magpie, so it's worth checking back if you have this collection to look at the previous videos. You'll also find that other members of the TT are using lots of different collections, so there's plenty of videos going up all the time on the Hey Little Magpie YouTube channel. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you get to be told straight away when there's a video going up. And I'm happy to answer any comments or queries in the comments under this video. So I feel like I'm nearly finishing up now. I'm just going to trim the word or the vellum under the word Amsterdam, so then I can get that secured in place. Because it's on vellum, I'm going to just use a couple of glue dots to attach it at either end. So I'm just getting that into position, but I feel like there's not too much more to be done now. I had a nice geotag there that I want to include, but I'm just going to check on the puffy stickers and I'm going to add some enamel dots as well to the centres of some of the flowers. And I'm just checking if there's anything I've missed out on. I see a couple of nice butterfly stickers, and they also, a couple of those make the cut as well, just going with that outdoor garden theme of the whole layout. I always find the positioning of the last few bits always a bit more tricky. I'm just looking at the butterflies there. I use a couple off the sticker sheets, and then later on I cut one from the 6x8 butterfly paper. But just making sure that I've not missed anything, there's not anything else that I want to add. I add this orange geotag above the Amsterdam on a little bit of foam as well, so it's just literally now coming together. I decide to use some enamel dots to go in the centres of the flowers, and I'm going to add some to the title as well. So I work my way around seeing if there's any flowers that need dots in their centre, just to give a raised look as well. And as I say, the enamel dots on the title will cover the glue dots. I've cleared the decks now because I don't feel that anything more to add. A couple more of the enamel dots. The more I look, the more flowers I see that could have them in the centres. I think the camera gets the same treatment as well. And then I have the bright idea to fill the centre of the big pink flower at the top. And I think I end up using 6 enamel dots in the centre of that. But I do like the fact that they give the die cuts a bit more depth and a raised look to them. And I actually have to use a little bit of glue in the end because I'm trying to get so many enamel dots into a small area on that flower. But I'm really pleased with the way this turned out. I've really enjoyed working with Paige Evans Adventurous. This is the finished layout and some close-ups too. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you here again real soon. This is Sheena for Hey Little Magpie. Bye for now.